My wonderful, beautiful, amazing Scorpios. I'm Gabriella from Gabriella's Vampire Tarot. For today, I'm going to be doing a general love reading of 5 card spread. But before I do that, I want to offer these two beautiful roses as a token of my love and appreciation for you all for supporting me. I love you guys incredibly, so thank you so much for your love and devotion towards my channel and myself. This 5 card love reading includes where the first card represents you, the second, the other person, the third, the relationship, the fourth, the past, the fifth, the future. Now I'm going to draw a Vampire Oracle for you and a Favole, but let's get started with card number 1, which is you. 2 of Cups. My goodness. Congratulations for Scorpios who have found their Mr. or Mrs. Right, who are, maybe you just got engaged, married, or heading towards your anniversaries in many ways. But I just see congratulations on finding whoever this person is, because the 2 of Cups is about partnership, companionship, love, support, nurturing, caring, and devotion in many ways. Because like any kind of water is very healing for many humans and stuff like that. But anyway, congratulations. But for the ones who are single, I see how you do crave some kind of companionship. You man, woman, whoever's watching and who is subscribed or who hasn't subscribed yet, or who just, came across my channel. The thing is, I can understand how you do crave some kind of companionship, and this is kind of what's also on your mind, where you just still haven't found Mr. or Mrs. Right yet. And so my suggestion would be, you know, it's, well, depending on the circumstance in any way, if you're single because you've been through enough negative experiences, okay, 100% your prerogative, but in any way. But if you're really fixed, like in any way, just like Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, in other ways, that you want to be with somebody, the best suggestion that I could give to you is, it's like, do not give up on what you want, wish, and desire. Because, it's like, if you just only will stay at home and you don't do anything, you want to find somebody, it doesn't work like that unless you go on these online dating things and stuff like that. But the problem with blind dates, back in my time, 300 and almost 1 year ago, the thing is, it's like humans, it's like we were more or less set up, through, various incidences, and one of them was definitely blind dates. And the blind date in that aspect is where especially my father or any kind of father figure would say, I have a son, you have a daughter, or I have a daughter, you have a son, let's get them together so we can actually, get our, wealth and land together and stuff like that. It was kind of like a community kind of situation. Was it ever beneficial? Not really for, many of us. I mean, I remember I was almost, sent off, with, somebody, but I know my, brothers and sisters were definitely married off, due to diplomatic reasons. So, but that's why you want to be careful with blind dates, because the thing is you don't know who the other person is. The most important thing or suggestion would be is to go on courtship phases. If you would come across a blind date because you do internet stuff, whatever, or these apps, that the human tells me about, I have no idea half of what he was even talking about, but he mentioned he used the word apps. 100% your prerogative, but go out on plenty of courtship dates so you get to know this Mr. or Mrs. Right, or this man or woman, whoever you may have your eyes on, and see where it will take from there and stuff like that. So, but who's the other person? Ace of Grails. For the ones who are single, this is a new beginning. So I hope everything will work out for you all. It looks very beautiful, abundant. It could be maybe a fellow Scorpio. It could be maybe Cancer, Pisces. Somebody's very loving, caring, and nurturing themselves. So I think everything should work out between you and the other person, no matter what. And for the ones, of course, who are in a relationship, congratulations on finding this Mr. or Mrs. Right. So, but yeah, that's what I like to see is, abundance, love, care, nurturing, support, anywhere, but I just am so honored to give this reading to my beloved Scorpios, because, it just looks incredibly promising and fulfilling in many ways. Relationship. Queen of Wands, again, Leo energy, Leo Scorpios. I mean, you can end up with a Leo, or maybe, but it could be very steamy, like fire, and water could be nice, like a hot tub or something, or a jacuzzi. But it looks incredibly beautiful, bold, courageous, and very strong in many ways, and passionate. So, if you're with somebody, congratulations on finding this person. Again, it doesn't have to be a fire sign. It doesn't have to be water. It could be somebody, maybe air or earth. But it looks incredibly stable, bold, fiery, passionate, very beautiful in many ways. But for the ones who are single, it's like, I think I mentioned this to Aries before, because, it's like, if you are interested in this other person, or, and you want to, if you ever, will feel like that you're interested in somebody who you feel like is, maybe out of your league. Okay, I'm still kind of acclimating myself to modern day terminologies. But if you feel like that somebody is, what comes across as being better than you, please never ever underestimate yourself, my beloved Scorpio man or woman, whoever's watching, because there's definitely more than what meets the eye. Humans, sadly, are very shallow to the point where they can just say, okay, it's like you're not rich enough, you're not beautiful enough, you're not this or that, you come from a different background, so henceforth, I can't be with you, okay? Very shallow and very, 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 invalid for hundreds of reasons in many ways. But the thing is always consider it their grand loss, because again, there's more than what meets the eye. If you have come across somebody that just really says, no, I just cannot be with you, it's really me, it's me, it's not you, and stuff like that, giant red flag, and consider it that you just dodged a bullet, my beloved Scorpio man or woman. Because the thing is you want to be with somebody who treats you with love, respect, mutual, and very loving and caring, and not somebody who has to put restrictions and all kinds of impacts and influences on you. Okay, past. Five of Wands. Okay, conflict and competition. Maybe there is competition, between you and other people for this one Ace of Cups, Queen of Scepters kind of individual. So maybe there's other people that have their eyes on the same person that you may have your eyes on as well. Okay, who's going to win the battle? Well, I'm hoping it'll be you. And well, the thing is, okay, conflicts and competitions, if there's conflicts, maybe, that's why you're kind of still in a current single situation. Maybe you've been through enough negative experiences where you just think, well, I just can't be bothered right now. I just need to have some time to myself. 100% your own prerogative and your own reason, and you're so ever so right, of being in any kind of single situation and stuff like that. So I can understand if there was conflicts and competition that put you in a single situation. Hopefully, everything will work out, but it looks incredibly promising so far for a new beginning. But for the ones who are in a what do you call it, in a relationship, my goodness, sometimes I can't talk, but then again, I'm close to my feeding. But for the ones in a relationship, I can see how you guys could have, had some conflicts and maybe some problems in the past, but yet you guys just were able still said, okay, it's like nobody's perfect, but let's just try to, maybe talk, some things out. Let's have an open communication. Let's try to be very loving and respectful and understanding and stuff like that. And maybe that's why you guys are in a very loving, caring, strong, bold, and courageous, connection right now, which I really hope for in many ways as well. The future, Eight of Skulls. So the thing is it's about putting time and effort and working hard on what you want, wish, and desire. So I do see for the single ones that you will find this new beautiful beginning of whoever it may and whatever it may be. And for the ones who have had conflicts and competition, or especially conflicts, and stuff like that, I do see that everything is just going to work out because you both are incredibly determined on wanting to be with each other. So it could be, definitely with, say, Scorpio, Leo, or maybe Scorpio and other, elements or other fire signs, stuff like that. But the thing is, as long as you keep at it and what you want, wish, and desire, everything should work out. Because the thing is it's like, hard work should definitely be paid off, right? Now, hypothetically, if, these conflicts are just, ongoing, there's really no kind of, any kind of, a respite or any kind of, agreements or respect and stuff like that, I would definitely consider breaking up or divorcing from this person. Because if there was already conflicts and competition with whoever this person was in the past and it's still ongoing, I would really work hard in the future to get out of this situation. But to be honest, I really don't feel it or sense it in this reading for you personally. Okay, what does Oracle have for my Scorpios? Resurrection, reprise, recovery, and comeback. Okay, there's definitely going to be some kind of resurrection. So it could be that you guys are going to be working everything out. No problems, everything, the love and sparks are going to be having a beautiful comeback. So I really hope that the steamy connection between you and the other person is going to be in the whole nice and beautiful for maybe a next anniversary time or dates and stuff like that. There's going to be some kind of like comeback, it's like maybe, you do have your eyes on, you'll set on somebody and stuff like that. And maybe, it's like, like what I even mentioned is sometimes, you'll meet Mr. or Mrs. Right in the most inconvenient or in an unforeseen circumstance and stuff like that, where you just think, oh, I would have never expected that. And then those could really bring out some beautiful tales for the future, for your future family, children, friends, whoever it may be out in this world. So I do see a beautiful renewal for my beloved Scorpios, man, woman, and no matter what, how this, will, resonates and ends as well. So let's see what Favole has. This one wanted to come out. The Empress. New beginnings. Now, this isn't the Hierophant, but the Empress is about new beginnings, abundance, fertility. You could definitely be having children with this person, whoever it may be. But I see, abundance and new beginnings and all kinds of lavish lifestyles, and just everything just looks incredibly beautiful and promising, grounded and stable and balanced in the future. Because you could also be with a Virgo, or you could have Virgo somewhere in your star chart, but that's what I see for my beloved Scorpios. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to leave it at that, but if this reading resonated, please feel free to join and subscribe to my channel. I want to thank you guys incredibly so much for joining me. And on April 18th, I'm going to be hosting my birthday special video on the Aries new moon. I pretty much am presenting my personal readings, announcements, stuff like that. So if anybody wants to have a personal reading for all my subscribers, please feel free to, reach out and stuff like that, because there's going to be a special video about that. But for the ones who haven't subscribed yet, please feel free to subscribe, because that's how I will be able to, process the whole personal readings and stuff like that. But anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for choosing me as your Vampire Tarot Guide reader. In a few days, I'm going to go back to general readings. So I'm going to go back and forth between general love for now, and then later incorporate personal readings. But I want to thank you guys incredibly so much for joining me. I love you guys incredibly.